Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
The board is now open for roll call. Commissioners Knizik and Vice Chair Palomero, an excuse.
Not just you, Commissioner. We're gonna,
She's bringing them.
I think everybody is having a little technical issue. At least I am too. Are yours, is yours on? Mine's not.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
You stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you so much. Next item, please.
Invocation.
Okay, we're going to have the introduction of our invocator by Commissioner Jonathan Kinlock. Commissioner?
Presiding Bishop Fletcher Bland serves within the right hand of Fellowship International Ministries. Bishop Bland embodies the essence of compassionate leadership and dedicated service. Throughout his career, he has been a steadfast advocate for justice, redemption, and the well-being of our community. Bishop Bland's academic credentials speaks volumes about his commitment to scholarship and theological understanding. He possesses a depth of knowledge that transcends traditional boundaries, allowing him to engage with diverse perspectives and bridge theological divides. His expertise extends beyond the pulpit, evidenced by his roles as a registered parliamentarian, certified mediator, and restorative practice specialist, emphasizing his dedication to conflict resolution and community building. Moreover, Bishop Bland's unwavering commitment to social justice is evident in his advocacy for the unlawfully convicted and marginalized. His tenure as an instructor at Wayne State University for over 2 years, while instilling values of compassion and empathy. Additionally, his role as a substance abuse counselor reflects his holistic approach to healing and restoration, offering support to individuals grappling with addiction and guiding them towards a path of recovery and renewal. In every facet of his endeavors, Bishop Fletcher Bland emphasizes integrity, empathy, and a profound dedication to uplifting those in need, making him a beacon of hope and inspiration within his community and beyond.
With bowed heads. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this day, for this is the day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Lord, we thank you. We thank you for the Wayne County Commission. We thank you for all the elected, salaried employees, all those who make up the Wayne County and their respective offices. Lord, we ask that you give us love in the midst of hate, joy in the midst of sorrow, peace in the midst of war and confusion, encourage the discouraged, lift up hung down heads. Lord, we ask, oh God, that you will continue to keep us in memory of your death, burial, and resurrection. We know that Adam lost willpower in the Garden of Eden, but you gave us back our willpower in the Garden of Gethsemane. The stripes of Jesus' back won back our health. The crown of thorns won back our prosperity. Jesus' pierced hands won back dominion over the things we touch. Jesus' pierced feet won back dominion over the places we walk. And Jesus' heart, the piercedness in his side, won back our joy. Lord, we ask that you bless everything that takes place with the commission today. Give everyone clearness of thought and clarity of speech. And we thank you in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Bishop Bland, for that inspirational prayer. Thank you for joining us today. Madam Clerk, next item.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Badun.
Move for approval.
It's been moved. Is there support? Moved and supported. Are there any corrections to the journal? Hearing none, please vote.
One second, Madam Chair. Okay. Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item.
Report from the chair.
Couple of things. I'm going to defer my comments to two others in the audience. The first is Mr. Anthony Eid here today? Anthony is with the Michigan Independent Commission on Redistricting. Mr. Eid, if you could come forth for about 3 minutes, he's going to discuss briefly, bring to our attention the efforts going on with the Michigan Independent Redistricting Commission that was established, 4 or 5 years ago, and some information pertaining to where they are with redistricting at this moment. Go ahead, Anthony, and give your name and title for the record, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Very much appreciate being here today. It's, I live right down the street in the Woodbridge neighborhood, so I didn't have to go too far, luckily. My name's Anthony Eid. I am the new chair of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission. I know a lot of y'all have probably seen us in the news a lot lately, and that's okay. But what I wanted to come here today to talk to all of you about was the upcoming Senate map redraw that the commission is going to be undertaking. A couple months ago, a federal panel in the federal courts found that we have to redraw about 6 of Michigan's 38 state Senate districts. And all of these districts originate around the city of Detroit in Wayne County and go up into Oakland and Macomb counties. So the commission is going to be redrawing them. We're going to start in about 2 weeks. And the court said that we have until the end of July to come up with a product. Now, this is extremely important. You may have seen that we just finished redrawing the House maps. The court adopted those maps, and they're now adopted into law to be in place for the upcoming 2024 election in November and, of course, the August primary. The next Senate election isn't until a little further down the ways, until 2026, but it is still extremely important because the districts that we're drawing now are going to be used for that election. We need folks from Wayne County to come out and let us know how you think these districts should be configured. So please follow us on social media at redistrictingmi, www.michigan.gov/MICRC. At those places, you can get information on where we will be meeting, when we will be meeting. We're a very transparent body. All of our meetings are on Zoom. You can provide public comment like I'm doing to y'all today. On Zoom, or you can come in person to any of our meetings. We will be meeting in person at the beginning of May. These dates are not set in stone, but tentatively they're May 5th, 6th, and 7th. And we'll be in Wayne County for one of those meetings, Oakland County for one of those meetings, and Macomb County for one of those meetings. And as soon as I have the location for those meetings, I will get them out to you, Ms. Bell, so you can get them out to your constituents. Again, these maps they're made by citizens for citizens. Prior to this commission coming into play, the maps were drawn by politicians in Lansing, and I don't think they served a heck of a lot of people. I think that's why the people of Michigan changed the Constitution to take that power away from the legislature and into just regular, everyday citizens like me, and I think like most of you. But we need to make sure that the maps reflect Wayne County. They need to reflect the citizens of Detroit and the citizens of the people of Michigan as a whole. And we can't do that unless we hear from you. So please come out, please provide public comment. Again, www.michigan.gov/MICRC. And I'll stick around if anyone wants to ask questions or something later. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. I thought it was important to have Anthony come to speak to us because public comment is going to be necessary. Unfortunately, I don't think for the House seats, they received as much public comments that they wanted. So we want to, let's publicize this as much as possible because it's going to affect the citizens of Wayne County, Oakland County, and Macomb County, but I think the majority is going to be Wayne County is going to be impacted. So let's make sure that we get that information for those public hearings and those meetings to our constituents. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming down. Next, I will ask if Scott Vandermerkel will come to speak on why we are meeting today, which is Tuesday. As you all know, every year state law mandates that we meet on this Tuesday as opposed to our regular Thursday date for equalization. So Scott is going to provide some information for us. Go ahead, Scott, you're on.
Thank you, Chair. Members of the commission, today is the statutory date, the second Tuesday in April, or the Tuesday following the second Monday, for the equalization meeting. It's one of the two responsibilities that the county commission has, the equalization of assessments in April and the apportionment of tax rates in October. The process begins in April for the annual assessment completion at the local level, and the county equalizes the assessments. The assessment rolls are statutorily due to the equalization department as of last Wednesday, this 6th, I think it was. And we are currently processing the last of the submissions at this time. Usually what takes place today for the equalization meeting is that it's held on the statutory date to get statutory compliance. And then at the chair's pleasure, the meeting is typically recessed until 2 weeks from now, the next full board meeting. And then in the interim, the Committee on Ways and Means considers the equalization report once we have that information compiled and vetted for its consumption and review. And then that proceeds on to the full board, as I mentioned, in 2 weeks. The assessments for this year, just to kind of give you a really brief update and synopsis, are about 13% up for residential properties. The overall increase for Wayne County as a whole reflects that about 10% or so. The weight for the agricultural class, very small, is about 10%, 5% for commercial, about 3% for industrial, consistent with the year before. And then the taxable value, which is really our tax base, had an inflation rate multiplier of 5%. And the overall taxable increase is about 7% at this time from the best available information, which is still being put together. But there'll be more to come in the near future. But this being the equalization meeting by statute, it's open and recessed for 2 more weeks typically.
Thank you, Scott. Again, at the end of this meeting, we will call for a recess into our next meeting on the 23rd. That meeting is going to have a lot of information on it, so we want to make sure that we start promptly at 10 to receive the report from Scott, as well as a lot of other information that we're going to have at that meeting. So thank you, Scott, for coming today. We look forward to the information going to Ways and Means and then coming here on the 23rd.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, we're on the 23rd because that is the week of the NFL draft. And we were scheduled to meet that Thursday of the draft, and we know it's going to be quite impossible to probably get to this building on that date. And that's why we're going to meet on Tuesday, the 23rd, and hopefully we'll be able to get here and conduct our business without too much traffic on that date. So thank you, Scott, for that report. Look forward to the full report on the 23rd of April. Next item.
Unfinished business, there is none listed. We are moving to page 2 of the agenda, offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are 3 resolutions listed on the agenda and 1 on the addenda. The first resolution is by Commissioners Bell, Killeen, and Baker McCormick, supporting the principles of environmental justice, including the fair and equitable treatment and participation of all people in the implementation of environmental laws and programs.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the Justice 40 resolution. And as a commissioner representing Detroit and Redford and a proud product of Northwest Detroit, Today, I want to address a critical issue plaguing our community, environmental injustice. From my upbringing in a vibrant yet underserved Northwest Detroit community, and my past tenure as chair of Health and Human Services Committee, I've been a witness firsthand to the detriment of the effects of environmental injustice and how it has disproportionately affected minorities and low-income communities. One of the initiatives that I started, the War on Trash, in 2019 was just the beginning of my commitment to improving the quality of life for residents. And so today I proudly, along with my colleagues, present the Justice 40 resolution aimed at tackling environmental disparities head on. This initiative is not just about addressing air, land, and water pollution. It's about rectifying the historical injustices that have plagued our community for generations. Some of you are aware that I have just recently had my first grandson. Actually, it was on Good Friday. So he is a little less than 2 weeks old, and he reminds me of the urgency of this issue. My grandson was born in Detroit, where the air quality is graded at an F. This cannot be the legacy that we leave for future generations. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren to fight for cleaner air, safer land, purer water. The Justice 40 initiative is supported by the federal government, and it directs a minimum of 40% of climate investment funds to communities of color, most affected by poverty and pollution. This resolution not only supports this federal initiative, but it also calls for proactive investment in environmental injustice initiatives right here in Wayne County. Environmental injustice is not just a buzzword, it is a moral imperative. It's about ensuring that every individual, regardless of race or socioeconomic status, has the right to a healthy environment. By prioritizing environmental justice projects and investing in programs that address past injustices, we can uplift our community and pave the way for a brighter, healthier future for all Wayne County residents. So I urge my fellow commissioners to support this resolution. Let us stand together in solidarity with environmental justice organizations, both locally and globally, and commit to building a healthier, more equitable future for our community. The time for action is now, and the responsibility lies with each and every one of us. And I ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's been moved by Commissioner Baker McCormick, supported by Commissioner Killeen. Commissioner Killeen?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and I really appreciate Commissioner Baker McCormick drafting this. I'll just add this to what she had to say. You know, we built in this town the industrial, right, put the world on wheels and saving the world for democracy and all of that in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. We built industrial sites right in the middle of neighborhoods. And that legacy is still out there for the people living around today, not to mention any new facilities that might be opening up in neighborhoods. But that's what we have in Wayne County. Is the worst air quality in the state. Going downriver and going on the southwest side. I forget the zip code right now, but it's often said the most polluted zip code in the state, or even wider than that. So we do have this tremendous industrial legacy that we have to pay attention to. And this is, you know, to me, it's also has an economic development aspect to it too, to have communities that people want to live in, want to move to, and that sort of thing. So I encourage a yes vote on this today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think the two of you have said it all. I am a proud member of the Michigan Environmental Council, which I've been a member of for a few years now. And this is of certain of interest to that organization as well as the many other environmental organizations across the county and the state. So I thank you both for your service in this space. And I do encourage all commissioners to vote in the affirmative for this resolution. But even more so, work with our Department of Health to make sure that we're providing additional programs to assist people with the air environment, water environment that we have here in Wayne County. So with that, Commissioner Garza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to just echo off of my colleague, the zip code 48217, Southwest Detroit, the most polluted zip code.
Thank you so much. So, and I know we have the Just Air program that this commission voted for just recently to at least monitor the air. So when we have that good data, we can learn what we need to do to move forward to improve the conditions of the air quality. So any additional discussion on this resolution? After we vote, I will open the board for co-sponsors. Please vote. I think it passed. Okay.
I'm sorry, motion carries.
Okay, I'd like to open up the board for co-sponsors at this time. Let us know when the board is open for co-sponsors.
The board is now open for co-sponsors.
If you'd like to be a co-sponsor, please vote. Votes in for co-sponsor.
Commissioner Clark Coleman. Co-sponsors duly noted.
All right, thank you so much. Next item, please.
Next item is resolution number 2, a resolution by Commissioners Bell and Haddis recognizing April 30th, 2024 as National Therapy Animal Day and encouraging individuals to become better educated about the importance of therapy animal teams and the impacts they make within their communities.
Commissioner Hayes.
Thank you, Madam the Chair. I move to even file item 1, 2, and 3 and approve item 4.
We're on the resolution for the National Therapy Animal Day. You want to just move approval of that item?
Oh, yes.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Hayes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Moved by Commissioner Hayes, the
Thank you,
resolution.
yes.
Is there
The,
support? Okay,
Move
Commissioner.
the resolution
Okay.
for approval, and I think it's a good resolution where it bring awareness to the animal life, and I hope all my
Thank you, sir. Moved by Commissioner Hayes, supported by Commissioner Kinlock. Any discussion on resolution number 2? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you so much. Next item, item number 3.
Item number 3 is a resolution by Commissioners Anderson, Baydun, Bell, Clark, Coleman, Clemente, Dobb, Garza, Hattis, Killeen, Kinlock, Kenizik, Baker, McCormick, Palomar, and Scott, recognizing April 28, 2024 as Workers' Memorial Day and stressing the importance of workplace safety while remembering those fallen workers and their mourning families.
Okay, is there a motion on item number 3? A move by Commissioner Kinlock, is there support? Supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun. Any discussion on item number 3? Any discussion on the Workers' Memorial Day? Right. Okay, hearing none. Got it? Okay. 1 second. There we go. No, we didn't. So supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Okay.
All right, there we go. All right, any discussion on that resolution? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Let's go to the addenda, the 4th resolution.
Item number 4 is a resolution by Commissioners Baydun and Hattis proclaiming April 2024 as Arab American Heritage Month, recognizing the decades of contributions from the Arab American community in Wayne County, the state of Michigan, and the United States, and acknowledging its efforts that make Wayne County vibrant and diverse.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a few remarks about this resolution. Since Arab Americans began immigrating to the United States in the late 1800s, they have been making valuable contributions to every aspect of American society, including medicine, law, business, education, civic engagement, military service, arts, culture, and literature. The second wave of immigrants arrived to the United States in the 1940s, followed by thousands of Middle Eastern immigrants migrating every year from Egypt, Jordan, Palestine, Iraq, and beginning in 1975 during the Lebanese Civil War. Arab Americans migrated to the United States in search of destination that would provide greater economic, political, and religious freedom, and have since shared their rich culture and traditions with their neighbors, colleagues, and friends, while setting examples as model citizens and public servants. It is estimated that there are more than 4 million Arab Americans who live in the United States, with many holding positions in the military, entertainment, politics, and various other aspects of social life. And since this April is the last time we see Commissioner Haydous in this chamber, I want to recognize and applaud Commissioner Haydous, a proud Arab American, for his stellar public records service. We thank you, Commissioner Haydous, and I'm designated you as my special Arab American of this month.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Additional comments on this resolution? Any discussion? All right, hearing none, please vote.
Yes, of course.
Motion carries.
Commissioner would like to open it up for co-sponsors, so let us know when the board is open for co-sponsors.
The board is now open for co-sponsors. You can. Co-sponsors duly noted.
Thank you so much. All right, next item, please.
We are returning to page 2 of the agenda, reports from committees. Report A is from the Special Committee on the Criminal Justice Complex. There are 3 items listed.
Thank you. And for our listening audience, those in the chambers and those online, we operate in committee format. So we vet and discuss and have discussions and conversations on each item on this agenda during the committee process. If it should make it out of the committee, it then comes to this board for final disposition. That being said, Commissioner Anderson.
Madam Chair, I'd move all 3 items, receive and file.
Okay, 3 items to
Support.
receive and file on the Special Committee on Criminal Justice Complex, moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baidoon. Any discussion on any of these items? Any discussion? Do you have anything you'd like to share on these items, Commissioner Anderson?
Madam Chair, these are just receiving and filing minutes of the meetings and the Corp Council's report that's been submitted to the special committee. So this is just a ongoing maintaining the records of the commission. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item?
We're on Report B from the Committee on Economic Development. There are 4 items listed on pages 2 and 3 of the agenda.
Okay, Commissioner Haydus, Economic Development, sir.
Thank you. I'm paying attention this time.
No worries.
I move to receive and file item 1, 2, and 3, and item 4 for approval.
Okay, it's moved and supported. 1, 2, and 3 for receive and file, 4 for approval. Any discussion on these items on economic development? Any discussion on any of these 4 items? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
We are on Report C from the Committee on Public Services. There are 20 items listed on pages 3 through 9 of the agenda.
Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move items 1 through 20 for approval. And I have a list of makers of the motions.
I'm ready.
So get your pen ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Commissioner Anderson, number 2. Commissioner Clemente, number 4 and number 20. Commissioner Garza, number 5, 6, and 9. And Commissioner Baidoon, number 11.
Duly noted.
Can you add number 16 since Joey is not here?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Joey with number 16. Commissioner Palomera, excuse me, number 16.
Any discussion on the public services report? Any discussion on the items? Commissioner Baidoon.
Oh, Commissioner
Adding-
Baidoon, number 16.
Commissioner Baidoon to number 16.
Oh, you want to be 16. Oh, excuse me. Did you get that, Pam?
Yes, duly noted.
Any discussion on the report? Commissioner Garza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to be listed at abstention number 2 and number 7.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Okay, please vote. Oh,
Motion carries. I have Commissioner Garza as an abstention on items 2 and 7. Maker of the motion, Commissioner Anderson, number 2. Commissioner Clemente, 4 and 20. Commissioner Garza, 5, 6, and 9. Commissioner Baidoon, 11 and 16.
Thank you. Next item.
We are moving to Report D from the Committee on Ways and Means. There are 18 items listed on pages 9 through 13 of the agenda.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Yes, Madam Chair, I move approval of the entire report, which includes 18 items.
Support.
Moved and supported for the Ways and Means report. Any discussion? Commissioner Khalid.
On item 1 with the delinquent tax revolving fund, what, is there a trend here in terms of how we're financing this? This is 195 million this year. Is that number going up and down? And I'm asking this for kind of a, tells us where we're at with the number of foreclosures and whatnot. So where does this number fall in the history of the borrowing here?
County Treasurer's Office. We use the number of not to exceed $195 million over the last 3 years, I believe. The final numbers will probably come in around $175 million for this year. And it really has no relationship to foreclosures. It's just the amount of delinquent taxes turned over for collection by the local community.
Yeah, for the local community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're just
So
providing
is
them
this-
with cash flow.
Is this number going down or is it going up? What we need.
It's typically pretty stagnant, so we haven't seen any significant increases over the years.
Our local communities are about in the same.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Any additional questions on the Ways and Means report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Next item.
We are on Report E from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 7 items listed on pages 13 through 17 of the agenda.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to have a motion to receive and file number 1 and 2 through 7. A vote, please.
Receive and file number 1 and 2 through 7 is moved for approval. Any discussion on the items on the Health and Human Services report? Discussion on the items on Health and Human Services? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
We are on Report F from the Committee on Audit. There is 1 item listed.
Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move the entire report for approval. And I'd also like to ask our Auditor General to speak a little bit about our discussion during the committee. We had a good discussion on our audit, on whether it was about procedure, sole source and comparable source contracts, and whether procedures were being followed based on our procurement ordinance. So I'll pass it over to our Auditor General.
Marcy Coro, Auditor General. We did a performance audit of the sole source and comparable source procurements. And one of the recommendations we had in the report was that the procurement division should perform due diligence when they're confirming that the vendor selected was indeed a sole source vendor and they're the only one that could provide the goods or services, or in the case of a comparable source vendor, that there was a select few that could provide and they were indeed the best choice for the comparable source. And procurement agreed to change their processes, include documented due diligence, and then that documented due diligence will follow through in the procurement packages when they come to the commission.
Very good. And you've had those conversations with the procurement director?
Yes, he was at the meeting.
Great.
So one other thing I'd just like to add is that when we are reviewing these types of contracts, that we make sure that we have those due diligence letters before we approve.
Before, in our package?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion on the audit report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on Report G from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 5 items listed on pages 17 and 18 of the agenda.
Commissioner Clark Coleman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we receive and file item number 1 and that we move for approval on items 2 through 5.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the public safety report? Any discussion on the items on public safety? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. All right, next item.
We're on Report H from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 5 items listed.
Commissioner Clemente?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move approval of the full report, 1 through 5.
Been moved. Is there support on the government operations report, supported by Commissioner Colleen? Discussion, there are a couple of things on here. Briefly, Commissioner Dobb, as representative from the Wayne County Women's Commission, could you just briefly discuss item number 4?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So as a member of the Wayne County Women's Commission, we put together this resolution to highlight the lack of available housing, affordable housing for particularly women in the state and in Wayne County. Because we did a community service project recently with Samaritas Family Shelter. They are, I believe, the only family shelter within Wayne County, which means families can stay together. There are wait lists on, I believe, every emergency shelter within the state right now, and it is it's an urgent need. So we are just we did this resolution to highlight the need and bring awareness, and we just wanted to put an importance on the effect that it has on women in the county.
Thank you for that work that the Women's Commissioner have done on this very important issue. As you know, rents throughout the city and the county and the state, for that matter, are rising to the point where it is very difficult to find affordable housing, unfortunately. So thank you for bringing this issue to light, and hopefully there will be some work that the Wayne County Women's Commission can recommend that this body address. Thank you. And then lastly, item number 5, I'm glad to see that there is an agreement with ASME Locals 1862, 2057, and 2926 for pay raises. And this is a 4-year agreement. Thank you for the leadership from our unions, as well as the leadership from the county team. Ms. Allen, your lead on this, and the collaborative bargaining that you've been embarked on over the last few months. Looks like it's going pretty well, and we are getting some union contracts with increases in wages. And I know we are continuing this effort. This isn't the stop here, but each union is going through deliberately to make sure that any issues are being addressed. So do you want to say any words to this item, ma'am?
Janelle Allen, Chief Operating Officer for the Wayne County Executive's Office. I really just like to highlight the process by which this agreement was developed, truly transformative. And I think while very time-consuming, arduous, at times even frustrating, but very exhilarating, it was through a truly deliberative process. And we really operated as one team, one with one united goal is to operate, provide the highest level of services for our constituents, and to really show that we value and respect our staff. All of the staff work at Department of Public Services. This was a very inclusive process where we had staff from the front line up to our director, Andy Crandrivas, was in the room, and we focused on issues and solutions and doing the right thing, things that cost money. We make sure that they're financially sustainable. Our CFO has signed off on this. So again, I'd really like to thank everyone, first and foremost, our county executive, for opening the door for this process, but our union leaders, all of some of who are with us today and on the line, as well as every staff member, and I think pretty much every staff member at DPS participated in this process.
Very good. Thank you so much. And if our union leaders who are here could please stand, if you're here. All right. Thank you so much for
I
your.
believe some may be online.
And ones online. Thank you all so much for your due diligence during this process. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any discussion on the government operations report? Any additional discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, very good. Next item, please.
We are on page 20 of the agenda, upcoming meetings.
Okay, please note the upcoming meetings for next week. If there are any changes, please alert our clerk for those meeting changes. Otherwise, they are as listed. Next item.
We are on new business. There's one item listed requesting commission approval of amendment number 3 to a 15-month addendum to a cooperative agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and AT&T Corporation.
Okay, who's here to speak on this item? Hello?
Hello, Hector Roman, Director, Information Technology Department. This amendment before you is for an internal antenna system for the criminal justice complex to increase connectivity for cell phones and radios within the complex.
Is this something that's already been wired? This is the service for the wiring, or?
This has already been installed. This is more for maintenance and continued maintenance for the system during, as staff get moved into the complex.
Any questions on this item with AT&T? No questions.
Thank you.
Is there a motion? Moved by Commissioner Kinlock. Is there support?
Support.
Lots of support. You pick one, Pam. Okay. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Great, next item, please.
We are on testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 10 items listed on the agenda and 1 on the addenda.
Please note the items. Any discussion on any of the items? I think Commissioner Baidoon on Romas. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, many of you have, like Jim Toth, I think he grew up on the south end of Dearborn. They're celebrating their 60th anniversary. It's a great business, great family. They've expanded. I think they just opened up in another location, Antonius and Livonia. Am I correct, Commissioner Marikey? Or maybe in another city, I got it. But anyway, thank you for all supporting this resolution. I will be presenting it to the family this afternoon. And Jim Toth will get free pasta.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you so much and congratulations to them on 60 years in business. That is a long time. And also they've been doing wonderful work, feeding great food for all of us for all those times. They're not far from where I live, so I frequent them frequently as well. And I would like to just draw your attention to the NAACP art and essay winners from several schools throughout Detroit Public Schools. Every year, I like to just support this endeavor and give these talented young people recognition for their artwork leading up to the NAACP dinner that will be next month. Any further discussion on testimony, resolutions, and certificates of appreciations? Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I see my alma mater, Davison, so I want to congratulate my young people who got involved in the NAACP essay contest.
Yes, they do wonderful, wonderful work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, have a motion by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun, supported by Commissioner Dodd. Please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next item, please.
Where are memoriams? There are 4 names listed.
Okay, would anyone like to speak to any of the names listed under memoriams? Commissioner Scott.
Thank you. I know I spoke last week on Shirley Birch. I did attend her funeral. And I always thought that it was just me and Irma that she was calling to ask us to do so many things. But attending the funeral, Shirley called on everybody. It was a wonderful homegoing for her. Yeah.
Wonderful.
It was well deserved, I tell you.
Very nice. Thank you, Commissioner.
So now if we can just get her some flowers on Outer Drive. Yes.
Yes. I
But
think Andy's here.
We'll be working on that.
Mr. Kandreevas is here, so I think he heard that.
Yes.
Flowers on Outer Drive.
Yes. Not only the roads, Andy, but some flowers too.
He's like, yes, ma'am. He just said yes. Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else like to speak to any of the other names? Any names to be added? Okay, everyone could please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you so much, and our continued condolences to the families of those who have lost members of their families over the last 2 weeks. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Public comments?
All right, anyone on Zoom who would like to give public comments at this time? 2 minutes. If there's anyone on Zoom who would like to give public comments, unmute your phone and raise your hand, and we'll call on you. Anyone on Zoom? Anyone on the telephone? Anyone in the chambers?
Honorable Chair and Commissioners, Yolanda Shepherd, President of ASME Local 1862.
Scott Petrikowski, Local 1862.
We came because we'd like to say Ms. Allen, Ms. Wilson, and the former interim Director of Labor Relations, Mr. Carmona, gained our confidence with leading by example. Their leadership styles made a significant impact in the direction of the collaborative talks. No titles took precedence at the table. Any employee, regardless of position in the union or the county, had the opportunity to express opinions and their concerns. So on behalf of Local 1862, I want to express my gratitude and say thank you for your guidance during the collaborative talks with the Supervisory Bargaining Unit. Your expertise and willingness to be impartial and inclusive was crucial to the success of this collaborative endeavor. For several years, employees have felt forgotten. This collaborative initiative has opened the windows of communication again, and we're very appreciative. We're not only grateful for your strategic guidance, we're grateful for your initiative in first taking the lead, then turning it over to the entire team to work together and coming to an agreement with these collaborative talks. Your positive attitudes were contagious. Thanks for uplifting the team. There were times when even I wanted to walk away from this. And then I remember what my late pastor, Reverend Dr. Charles Gilchrist Adams, used to say: if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Standing with the county and the union members should serve notice of what our Wayne County executive stated: united, we thrive. One Wayne County. Thanks to the county executive, the county commissioners, Ms. Allen and Ms. Wilson, and all who were involved to make this collaboration come to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your leadership as well. And again, we want to thank the leadership of the unions, again, working together collaboratively is what it's about, because we are all here together. So thank you so much for your comments. We appreciate you, and look forward to getting the next set of union documents, Ms. Allen, very soon. So thank you so much for your efforts. Anyone else from the chambers for public comments? Okay, thank you so much again for coming to the meeting and your comments. Next item.
Reconsiderations,
There are none.
remarks by members.
I have a couple. One, want to recognize in the month of April, a very special day on next Sunday. That's April 14th. It is the birthday of our very own Irma Clark Coleman. So let's say early birthday. Happy birthday, Commissioner, and many, many more. You had a wonderful celebration this morning, and we look forward to many more. So happy birthday, happy early birthday. Also, let me confer with council on this one. Committee of the Whole, what's the date that we need to have one by?
We would like to have it prior to the next full board meeting.
Oh, boy. Well, that's going to be pretty hard. Hopefully, so we'd have a couple of things why we have to have a committee of the whole. There's a few things that we want to put on the August primary ballot. There's 2 items, and prior to that, we have to discuss them, and we have to do so in a timely manner to vote on before they can go on the ballot. So that being said, we're going to shoot for, I hate to do this, but next Thursday for a committee of the whole. I'll look at the schedules to see what's going to be a good time, try to get it in the morning. So that's April 18th. Committee of the whole to discuss the 2 ballot initiatives. One is the Parks Millage, and the other is language as it relates to our auditor process right now. It states that we have to turn over who our auditor is, our big auditor. And unfortunately, we don't have the big 5, the big 7. We're down to like only 2 big law firms who can handle the size of Wayne County when it comes to auditing. But we're supposed to do it every so often. There's not enough in the rotation. So we're going to ask the voters if they would allow us to not have that stipulation where we have to rotate so quickly, because there's only a couple of law audit firms who can do that. So those are the 2 items that we need to vote on to see if we would like to place those on the August ballot. And again, the committee of the whole will be on the 18th, and I'm thinking it's going to be in the morning at about 10 a.m., but a clerk will send that out as soon as I look at our schedules. Any other remarks by members? Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to send kudos to Janelle Allen. And her team. Janelle has demonstrated magnificent leadership skills and has been able to get the job done. And for our labor community to come up and give and say such wonderful things about her. We just don't take the time to thank those folks who are stepping out there and doing a great job. I spoke with Janelle after our meeting, and I was so impressed with what they've been able to accomplish and what they're still working on. So kudos to Janelle.
Yes.
Great job.
We certainly have a gem, and what Janelle does works 24 hours. I tell her to take a break sometimes. We talk on weekends. I'm like, take a break. But we are so appreciative of the hard work that you do put in for the citizens of Wayne County. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any additional remarks by members? Okay, well, please be safe out there, get around the traffic. Hopefully we will be able to get here in a timely manner on the 23rd. So I guess leave your house early because we don't know what the traffic situation is going to be on the 23rd. Also, remember that we do have a program after our full board meeting on the 23rd for some special recognitions, and we're working on a couple of surprise international guests to be with us as well. And that program is going to start at 11:30. So we're going to start promptly at 10 o'clock on the 23rd. So as I stated earlier, because this is an equalization meeting and we're going to have the actual report on our next meeting, we're going to stand in recess